Wow, I find it absolutely crazy right now when I hear people talking about that gold and silver and the precious metals commodity bubble is about to burst. Um, if you take a look what's going on right now, I don't see any way of this happening, at least in the near future. Now, it is catching steam, um, but certainly with the actions the Fed is taking, it can only lead for these asset classes to go up significantly. And I know there's a lot of people jumping on the stocks bandwagon right now, looking at the Dow Jones being at its highest point of the year, and it is good that the Dow's going up, but if you look at other commodities, you'll see that it's just keeping up with inflation. Um, and right now, oil's up, sugar's up, silver's up, gold's up, food's up. Every commodity known is possibly up right now. So just the fact that it's up, you need to look at how it's doing against other asset classes to really see the full picture of what's going on. If you think about value on a global level, there's really only so much value, whether it's real estate, whether it's the Dow Jones, whether it's silver, gold, whatever it is. There's the amount of value that's in the world is the sum of everything that we create as society and everything that we have as a natural resource combined. And they can deflate value, or I'm sorry, manipulate maybe value by printing more and more paper as currency. But if the currency is not attached to anything, then eventually you're going to get out of whack with how much currency you have to how much real value you have. And if these get more and more out of whack, eventually they're going to naturally stabilize with the currency just becoming worth less and less. So it just becomes reality to go to the store and it costs more dollars to buy that loaf of bread. It's the same loaf of bread, it's the same dollar, it's just worth a whole lot less. So if you look at bread as compared to oil, as compared to real estate, over time they all shift back and forth, but they've all pretty much stayed equal, on an average. And we're all familiar with how value bubbles work. We saw real estate go up in the biggest boom it's ever had in history just recently. And, 2005, people were saying that, you can't go wrong buying real estate. You look at 2008 and present day, and you see that, probably wasn't an accurate statement. Everything will pop. Gold and silver are no different. So we saw those bubbles pop when the debt got so high that people couldn't even afford just the interest on all that real estate that they had bought. And so, eventually gold and silver is what people will go to. It's the reserve currency of the world and has been for the history of the world. If you look at ancient civilizations, look at Rome, the fall of the Roman Empire. It happens because they presented a fiat currency and eventually it became worth less and less and less. And, the end breaking point is zero. And so it's really crazy. I think that gold and silver will definitely burst. That precious metal bubble will burst, but I think it's going to be a long time. And before we see it burst, we're going to see the craze, I believe, get so big that we're actually going to see people lined up outside coin and bullion dealers to buy silver and gold. I think you're going to hear people saying, gold always goes up, it never goes down. All the things that we heard about real estate, it's going to happen the same way. The Federal Reserve they're printing more and more currency. They're putting it out into circulation, trying to spur the economy, trying to get U.S. trade up. In all reality, all it's doing is devaluing the other dollars that are already in circulation. The real problem is the fiat currency and that there's nothing attached behind the dollar. So if you've been watching gold and silver for the last couple months, it broke through $20. Silver broke past $20 per ounce of silver in September. This was not even 2 months ago. It's right now sitting at almost $28. Last week, silver hit a low of $24 right after the elections, right before the news from the Fed of this quantitative easing. And basically what it is it's inflation on purpose created by the Fed to try and spur trade and get the economy moving again. Since they released that news that they're going to pump more and more dollars into circulation, buy those treasuries, buy those bonds, buy our defaulted debt back from us, all the other commodities have gone up, and silver from $24 to $28 in 1 week. Are you serious? I mean, this is something that's been around since the beginning of time. So how could we see that type of a percentage increase in just 1 week? I mean, it just really shows you, that we're all out of whack with this thing. And so, it is important more now than ever to get financially educated, figure out what's going on, to keep tabs on what's going on with the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve they're not only destroying our dollar, but they're destroying our economy and they're destroying our livelihood.